my son, as of a couple days ago, says he wants to go join the SEAL teams. So tell me more. Where are we going? And so the short of it is, I got to go out and watch a bunch of guys that were trying to get basically waivers to go into the SEAL teams. Waivers as in, like, sometimes maybe they were a little bit too old, or they had something else going against them, so they had to get this special letter from a captain, a high-ranking individual in the Navy, to endorse them going to SEAL training. Some of these guys were also looking for it to be officers. So everything kind of, it's really hard for officers to get a billet into SEAL training. So I was able to go up there and watch, all right, well, what is this test that these guys have to do? So I watched them do their swim, their pull-ups, their push-ups, their sit-ups, and the run, and how it has to be with pants and boots. So, okay, now I've got a goal to train for. And all the, prior Navy SEALs that were there were like, yeah, bro, start running. And I was kind of thinking, well, I thought we swim a lot. And he was like, no, you need to condition those legs. Just start putting on miles and get your legs strong, because you're going to do a lot of running. And you do so much running where you do most of your training, but you've got to go to go to get breakfast, lunch, and dinner 3 times a day. Well, that's a mile there. So you've got to run a mile to breakfast, run a mile back, same thing for lunch, same thing for dinner. So you're doing 6 miles a day just to get food. Plus you've got your 4-mile timed runs every week, plus everything else that you have to go from one spot to another. You have to be running. There's no walking allowed in SEAL training. So you're putting on quite a lot of miles.
Wow, no walking allowed. I had no idea. I mean, how awesome was that guy calls your dad construction company by accident? I think that was a really good sign right there. That was a good one. Okay, so how many weeks do y'all train before you have Hell Week?
Well, I got to San Diego for this little intermediate school after boot camp, but then you check into SEAL training compound in San Diego. And what they do is they put you in this orientation type class, which is about like 5 weeks. And it's a lot of hand holding. They kind of show you all the ropes, all the answers to the test, so that you get a little bit familiar with what's going to happen when first phase kicks off. First phase is when SEAL training really begins. That's when people start ringing the bell and quitting and all the other things. First phase only goes on for about 3 weeks. You're carrying logs, you're carrying boats, you're doing it at night, you're freezing in the water. And then on week 4, you go to Hell Week. And that's where you do all those things you did the past couple weeks, only without sleep, and you're doing it for 5 days straight, no rest. So we get quite a lot of what we call quitters in those first couple weeks, but you get most of the quitters in Hell Week.
Yeah. So I remember you saying you got like 4 hours of sleep and you were wet almost constantly.
Wet and cold the entire time. That's not going to stop. And so then in Hell Week, what really makes it tough is all the chafing that you have, because now there's sand in every crevice of all your clothes, and you're wet and you're running. So, everything looks like meatballs, raw meatballs in your armpits, on the top of your head, on your waistband. And that's another mental level that you just have to push throughout Hell Week.
And so tell everybody about the canoe on the head, because I remember you said you practically had no hair up there. And that to me, it's just, you get such a good mental image. And what it really taught was teamwork. So tell them about the canoe, and then tell us some about the teamwork, and how y'all all are like a brotherhood and you stick together. Because I'm very, very passionate about that.
Sure. It's not a canoe for the listeners. It's a boat. It's a rubber boat. It's a big rubber boat, and it's pretty heavy. It's called IBS, Inflatable Boat Small. So it's a big rubber boat, no engine on it, but you have these pontoons on the side of each, and the pontoon has to go directly on your head. So there'll be 3 guys on the right, 3 guys on the left, and 1 guy sort of in the middle that's like making the calls as the officer. So for most all of us, you're either on the right side or the left side, and that boat has to be squarely on your head.